Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and I'm working on the unit guides where I go through every unit that every faction has on their roster, kind of giving my 2 cents about what each unit can do for you. I go through every weapon loadout, kind of give my thoughts about the pros and cons of each, and then I give an example of a army loadout that you could use to help buff that unit if you're building a army around a certain unit. And then finally I upload a match against the AI using the units to kind of show what they can do, and then also to show off the empowered abilities for units that have that capability. But first, if you're enjoying these videos, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. But the next unit we are going to be using is the Leman Russ battle tank. So these guys were massively buffed during the last patch here. They cost 250 points. For that 250 points, you have a 400 health unit, 1 action point, 4 movement, 9 armor, minus 20 evasion. And you have 3 different Leman Russ variants that all cost the same. The default option is the Punisher. And what this is it has a Punisher Gatling cannon. It has 100 attacks, doing a base damage of 3 to 4. Armor piercing of 4, has a range of 1 to 5, but the optimal range is 2. At that optimal range of 2, it has a base accuracy of 80, and the accuracy falls off 10 per tile from that range. So this is the equivalent to the Predator Gatling cannon, if you're familiar with the Predators using that on the Space Marines here. But for the increased points here, you also have additional weapons. So every variant will have the same loadout capabilities, but the default that costs just whatever you're paying for with the 250 is you get a heavy bolter, which has 28 attacks, doing 6 to 8 damage, armor piercing of 3, optimal range of 4, base accuracy at 85, falls off 10 per tile outside of the optimal range, and it has a 2-turn cooldown. And then it has a tertiary weapon as well, which was significantly buffed with the last patch, because before it would take 3 turns to cool down, now it's only 2 turns, so effectively you're getting an attack every 2 turns instead of every 3. So this significantly increases the damage potential these guys have against medium and heavy tier units, and really helps their vehicle killing capabilities. So you have 1 attack, does base damage of 75 to 100, armor piercing of 7, has a range of 1 to 8, but the optimal range is a 5. At that optimal range, it has a base accuracy of 90, it falls off 5 per tile, and has a 2-turn cooldown. Leman Russes are vehicles, so they are volatile, meaning that when they die, they explode, doing 52 to 70 damage and armor piercing of 3 to everything within 1 tile of it, whether it be friend or foe. So with the Punisher Gatling cannon, what typically I would recommend is to have a Castellan with you, and the reason for that is she gives you plus 10 accuracy, which will help all of your units, but then that plus 1 damage will be a significant damage boost if you're doing a Punisher build, because they usually have, 3 to 4 damage, so increasing that to 4 to 5, all of a sudden you're talking about a 30 to 20% increase to their damage here. Then giving that accuracy, it'll make them go up even further. If you're doing a different Leman Russ build though, like if you're going to use the Demolisher cannon here, what that will do is it has a 1 attack, it does 90 to 120 base damage at 63 to 84 times 4 for splash at an armor piercing of 6, which was just recently buffed. This will allow you to take out medium and also do damage to heavy tier infantry and do kind of infantry squad wipes, is how these guys are supposed to be used. It has a base accuracy at 95%, falls off 10 per tile. So really these guys you want to have at optimal range and just take out your medium to heavy infantry that are fighting your guys. It can be used against light infantry too, but it tends to just overkill those units. You can give them the heavy bolter as a baseline, which will also give you some minor buffs with the Castellan, because it only does a 6 to 8. However, the other option is if you're going to be real close with the Punisher, for 5 additional costs you can add heavy flamers on here. And then those heavy flamers will definitely get significant buffs with the Castellan as well, because that'll bring it up to 7 to 10 with those 12 attacks. That'll give you significant buffs. The big thing is you just want to decide what you're going to do for loadouts depending on what weapon you're going to have here, because the Punisher, you're going to be at a range of 2, so you're probably going to want to use your flamers, your multi-meltas, possibly the heavy bolters, but that's only if you can't get them into range or when you're moving in, getting these shots off and then attacking. Whereas the Demolisher, you know, now you're going to be at an optimal range of 3, so, and doing lots of damage, so you may want to give them, you know, plasma cannons or the multi-meltas. They could also benefit for the heavy bolters, less likely the heavy flamer, but really they could use everything. And then the Vanquisher is the last tank variant here, and this is really meant to be your anti-armor tank killer. And with the Vanquisher cannon, it has 1 attack, but that base damage does 50 to 200 damage, has an armor piercing of 8, has an optimal range of 7. Now they made some pretty significant changes to the minimum range, which is significantly helping these tanks, because before what would happen is guys would just get into range 1 and they wouldn't be able to shoot, and that's no longer an issue with any tank variant other than the Vanquisher. But even they are getting significant buffs, because I think the minimum range before was like 5, and now they've decreased it down to 3, so it's going to be much easier for the Vanquishers to land attacks here. But the big thing is you just got to keep them far away at a range of 7, because that's their optimal range, and the accuracy rapidly falls from there. So if you're at that range of 7, they will have a base accuracy of 85, but it falls 10 per tile outside that range. And because you're going to need to keep them so far away, you're likely going to want to give them the heavy bolter or the plasma cannon so they can still get some attacks at that distance and then run away, or you could just give them the heavy flamer to try to protect themselves if somebody runs up on them and tries to get some kills on you. So you just got to decide what you're going to be doing. Like we talked about, the Punisher, especially with the Punisher side weapons, is more likely to get significant buffs from the Castellan. But if you're using the other Leman Russ variants with the Demolisher, given how high their base damage is, or the Vanquisher, you're more likely to want to get buffs from the tank commanders here, because what that's going to do is give you plus 10% damage to all their attacks, and it'll give you plus 1 range stability. So how range stability works in this game, as you see here, it falls off 10 per tile, so it'll go down to 9, and same with the Demolisher here. And then that 10% also affects your secondary and tertiary weapons, so you'd much rather have a 10% damage buff to your plasma cannons, which have 2 attacks that are asymmetrical, meaning 1 attack followed by another one to limit the overkill potential that you do with it. And that does 37 to 50 for whatever it hits, and then it has a splash of 25 to 35 with an armor piercing of 5, optimal range of 4, but it can go anywhere from 1 to 8 with a base accuracy of 80 at the optimal range, and it falls off 10 per tile. And then all these things have 2 turn cooldowns, including your las cannon. So with a base damage of 75 to 100, obviously a 10% damage increase is much more important than a single damage point there. Likewise, same thing with the multi-melta here, which has 2 attacks. These have been synced up, unfortunately. Before it was asymmetric, meaning it would do 1 attack and then a second attack, but now they attack at the same time, so it tends to cause this to overkill a lot unless you're attacking another vehicle. But each one of those attacks does 56 to 75, has 8 armor piercing, optimal range of 3, but has a range of 1 to 50. At the optimal range, it has a base accuracy of 80, and it falls off 10 per tile. So as you can see, these guys are definitely major damage killers here. And then the big thing to know about using these Leman Russes now is you can really abuse their momentum gains. So what you can do is you can give them the Pound the Dust ability from your tank commanders, in addition to the battle line abilities, which will give them 10% damage increase. And then by having the Leman Russes be in a battle line, they get plus 10 momentum gains just straight up. And then you can give them Pound them to Dust. What that'll do is a vehicle that's selected will now have 100% shots with all their weapons. So the big thing is you want to save it for when they're going to be using their primary, secondary, and tertiary weapons, because now all of a sudden you're going to have plus 100% shots. So that means you're going to have 200 attacks with the Punisher Gatling cannon. You're going to have 2 shots with the Demolisher cannon here, effectively allowing you to kill any light or heavy infantry and do significant damage against vehicles. Or with your Leman Russ Vanquisher, you're going to be doing 2 attacks at 150 to 200. The big thing to realize with the Vanquisher cannon compared to the Rogel Dorn is there's no splash damage with the Vanquisher cannon, so it's absolutely abysmal against infantry, but it's amazing against anybody else that you're attacking here. And then, you know, you would double up the attacks up to here, so then you're getting, you know, what would that be, 56 shots here, 24 here, 4 shots here, 4 shots here, 2 shots here. So all of a sudden you can see how you're going to be easily getting kills with these tanks, and that will allow you to Oops, I accidentally clicked through and made some changes here. So let's change those back here. So you can see how you can really start to get a bunch of momentum gains here. But wait, there's more. If you have them next to a commissar, then he'll give you Emperor's Will, which will give you plus 25% of the momentum gains that you're getting, plus any unit that's next to him will get plus 10% bonus health, so that's a big buff. But wait, there's more still. You can then use the execute ability now, and with the changes after the patch, this now has an AoE effect, which is great, and it affects both infantry and vehicles. It does not affect officers, though, so your tank commanders will not get benefits from this, nor will your commissars or your castellan. It only affects non-officer units. It doesn't say that in the description, but that's how it works. So you can now give 30 bonus momentum to all of your vehicles every 2 turns by executing one of these lone guardsmen, as long as they're 1 square within the guardsmen as they're being executed. So that'll help you get your momentum gains even further, and it'll decrease the amount of grazes you're doing and increase your critical hit damage because of how the passive ability or the faction abilities work with momentum for your Imperial Guard. So this is how you can rapidly get them to start doing more damage. But wait, so now you're getting all these attacks you're telling me here, you're getting increased crit chances, you're decreasing the amount of grazes. Well, that seems like it's pretty powerful, and it is. And it's even more so because now you can use Show 'em Steel, which now gives you a ranged 10% crit chance. So now, as you can imagine, if you're sitting here doing 200 shots here, 10% of which are going to start critting just from this Show 'em Steel ability by itself, plus you're going to get crit chance buffs from your momentum gains from executing these shock troops. You can now see how you can get some amazing attacks going on, especially when you're getting, 100% shots with everything. So you can easily get these guys to start critting like crazy. And if you're using this Castellan here to buff accuracy and giving them the damage increase, you can now see how these Punisher cannons can just get obscene amounts of damage out when they're getting kills, even allowing them to take out vehicles with the sheer amount of shots that they're doing at that high base damage. So you can just do some crazy things. And then all of your sponson weapons here have been reduced in cost by 50% to make it the same as a tank commander. So really it's now a viable option to bring out any sort of loadout that you could think of here to help your units. And then you could also give harassing fire with a sentinel here, which would reduce accuracy and movement by 1 to make it so they can't get away from your tanks. Now, because we're playing AI, we don't need to worry about that so much, but you can see how this is just going to be absolutely ludicrous on getting some easy kills here. In the past, what they would do is that the Blitz would give you +1 action point to a vehicle. That's no longer the case, so you can't add that on top of all these other things because that would just be crazy with the extra shots. But effectively, the Pound 'em to Dust is your extra action point. So you just got to take that into consideration, because now Blitz, all it does is give you a defensive bonus, meaning you'll take plus 10% grazed hits, and it gives you a chance to use your action point to attack with a charge ability with one of your vehicles instead. So it's really a pretty pitiful ability. I don't quite understand the thought process with the Blitzum ability, because not only do you have to use up one of your action points for your tank commander to use it, then you have to use up an action point on whatever unit it has it applied to. So you're effectively using 2 action points to give a slight defensive buff and a charge attack to a vehicle. So it's like, whatever. I guess very situationally it could be useful, but for the most part it's just a waste of time. So let's play around with some of these Leman Russ tanks and see what we can do with them. And I'll set up a skirmish match here. It should definitely be an easy setup for us, because none of the Leman Russ abilities require surging, so it's just going to pretty much be running out there and getting as many kills as possible. Now, we're actually going to be fighting a faction they sometimes struggle with, because the Adeptus Sororitas will end up gaining momentum as they take damage, and that will increase their evasion. So we'll see what we can do with these against the ladies here. But we should still do pretty amazing amounts of damage. And just allow us to destroy everybody that's in our way. I guess let's just move you guys in a little bit closer. Something like that. I don't think it matters which tank commander's in charge. Let's just run you guys out as fast as possible.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
Sentinel on the move.
Rolling out.
Sentinel on the move.
Get these guys moving up too.
Kill or be killed.
New target just showed up.
Nothing escapes my scrutiny.
Quarry.
Well, they've got lots of rhinos or
Got your armor right.
immolators coming, it sounds like.
Victory through discipline.
I guess I could move one of you over here. You are the Punisher, so I guess I'll move you to there. Because you're my Vanquisher, and I need you to be
Armored Sentinel ready.
in range. Move you over to here.
Sentinel on the move.
Move you over to here. Get the Demolisher up there. I guess let's just start moving these guys up here. Not going to execute anybody yet. Alright, so let's end turn. Got some Arcos moving around here.
Enemies fortifying nearby. Enemies fortifying nearby.
Full pistol. Oh, yep. So they're starting to pop smoke over here, unfortunately. So we just won't go that way. And now all these weapons are the same for the tanks. So it doesn't make a huge difference here. I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to kill the most guys. As the tank commander. I think what I'll do is just move you up to here. We'll flame here. Oh, what I didn't do is give them the increased momentum. So that was a big oopsie. So let's see, that's 60 retributors. Shoot here. And shoot the Repentia. Let's see, that's what, 7, 6, 7. I think we gotta go for taking out those Repentia.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
Bring you over to here. And you can just shoot into the Seraphim, I guess. Squad wipe them. You can shoot here. Ah, you missed. I guess we'll just have you shoot into the Retributors. Vanquisher is here. I guess I can show off the Demolisher here. So we'll shoot once here. Wipe those guys out. You can shoot here. Take out those Repentia. And then we'll start working on these Inferno pistols because they are dangerous for sure. Now, I'm not a huge fan with how things are going over here. I guess we'll just move you up to here because you should also get the evasion buffs.
We're taking fire.
And that should help. Let's just pull you back. I don't really care about those shots going into you. Yeah, see, this is the problem, is I don't have great shots here.
Rolling out.
I was gonna say, they're usually good for a flank over here. Oh, those guys have inferno pistols. That means I've gotta try to kill them.
On the way.
Evasive maneuvers.
Because they can do good damage to me.
Victory through discipline.
Got your armor right here, sir. Armor rolling out.
Alright, let's move you over to here. I
Firing.
guess we'll try to shoot there. Good. Oh, you almost got him. Well, actually, ironically, your cannon has the best chance to hit, so...
Right you are then.
Moving to the battle line.
Awaiting your orders.
Advance.
Alright, we'll do something like that. Looks like you're suppressing them. Not quite sure what those things were thinking there. Actually, this... Wait, that's a Sister Superior.
Under fire.
Alright, so we've got lots of different options here now. I think the first thing we want to do
Armored Sentinel, ready.
is flame here. And I'm going to bring you over to here.
Sentinel, ready.
And if I bring you to here, you should flame here. And I can bring you over to here. And then this will allow us to bring you to here,
Advance.
you up to here. You can now execute.
Coward will temper your faith.
You can throw a grenade there. Pull you back. We'll move you up to here. You can now buff everybody's ranged damage.
We routing today, sir.
Alright, and you want to kill these Sister Repentia. So what I will do
Got your armor right here.
is just show the Pound 'em to Dust ability, although I hate to do it with this guy because he doesn't have his side weapons going, but it'll definitely give you enough to get some kills here. And then let's surge. And then I guess let's just let you shoot into here and take those guys out. And you're coming up to here, and you're taking them out. And you can come up to here and surge, and you can kill these Sisters of Repentia.
Whose day are we routing today, sir?
And then you're here. And I guess we're just going to have you shoot into that Penitent Engine because he's dangerous.
Understood.
And then for you, what I want to do is pound them to dust.
I need you firing now.
And I will pull you back to shoot here.
Firing cannon.
And now you've almost destroyed that immolator in one turn.
Here, sir.
You can shoot here. Oh, you missed. Very disappointing.
What next, sir? Victory through discipline.
Can I charge? I can't, but what I can do is just move you up to here
Flee
and attack here.
cut down where you stand. By his will alone.
And then for you guys, I guess we'll just move you up to here and throw a grenade.
Awaiting your orders.
And I'll try to bring you guys out there to be an attractive target.
Armor rolling out.
Victory through discipline.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
Oh, she's getting her bonus attacks. Are you kidding me?
Come closer, so that
Whoa! Where did that guy come from?
likes of you.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Alright, well, we've got you. So we'll pull you back, actually. Let's move you up to here. You can shoot here. Squad wiped him. You can attack here. Alright, I guess 56 is the most you're gonna get.
Firing.
There you go.
Armor rolling out.
You can shoot into here. Shoot into here. Shoot into here. Or not.
Awaiting your orders.
Actually, I think I'd rather you come over here to kill those guys.
Armored sentinel, ready.
Victory through
So maybe what I'll do is I'll just bring you up to here, flame through here. Now you've killed those guys. And I'll bring you to here. You can start shooting these guys down like that.
Our armor.
I can bring you to here. And you can shoot the retributors and get the kill. And then you can start firing into the sisters here.
Got your armor right here, sir. Rolling out.
And then we can have this guy start to shoot into here. Come up here. Shoot here. And as you can imagine, if I had the pound them to dust ability going, each one of these attacks would be doubled.
Armor rolling out. Firing.
But I think you can get an idea of the amount of power that these guys now have in terms of stacking momentum and accuracy buffs with your commissar abilities. I mean, this is a huge, huge buff to the Astra Militarum, and especially to the tank play. So now you can effectively try to get kills faster than your opponent can kill you. I think they're still going to have a lot of difficulties against factions that can specialize in anti-vehicle play, such as the Space Marines, especially with all their jump infantry and teleporter infantry. With the Terminators, they're still going to be very, very dangerous, but I think now you have options to help you kill them a lot easier than you did before, because of the sheer amount of attacks you can end up putting out, assuming your tanks don't get killed by the heavy plasma incinerators or the terminators warping on top of you. You just have to strategically decide what you want to use to help you get those attacks, whether it's going to be focusing on flamers just to kill as many guys as you can, or, you know, those heavy plasma cannons to use, you know, double the amount of attacks with the splash to take out terminators, or sanguinary guards, things like that. So there's lots of viable options and builds that you can now do with these abilities. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.